Welcome to episode 370 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton, and as always, I'm joined by Dan Raymer.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Producer Gerald behind the glass, making it happen.
In the house, as usually always, not on holiday this week.
That's right. Fresh off a holiday.
Yes.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, fresh off of, yes.
Right.
He was here last week.
Right.
Fresh off a holiday, 2 weeks removed.
I haven't been on a holiday in a hot minute.
No?
Mm-mm.
Well, we've talked about it before. I'm not a big holiday guy.
Yeah, I also hate vacations, so there's that.
I prefer to use mine as... Because here's the thing, is when you go on... It's like when you actually go on a vacation, you put in your time and all that, blah, blah, blah. You know, put in your request, they approve it, you get to go. But for some reason, when you even when you go through that whole process, when you use it to take a day, it feels like you're like pulling something over on somebody.
Well, yeah, because you're like, this isn't how this was intended. But it was beautiful.
You know? You're like, yeah, I'm going to have a long weekend this weekend because I want to. So
I might be interested in a long weekend because I had a real adult meltdown yesterday because I had so much stuff to do.
Did you have an anxiety attack breakdown or?
No, I was in a pissy mood.
No.
I don't suffer from any actual medical breakdowns or anything. I don't want anyone to think that that's the kind. I was in a pissy mood because I was being a. You
don't want to cheapen that. I understand.
Yeah, I was being a baby yesterday.
Okay, better.
Because I get the standard 2 days off. I'm a Saturday Sunday kind of guy with my job.
Yep, me too.
I left the house yesterday at 10:30 and I worked and I had a bunch of stuff I had to get done. I got back home at basically 6 o'clock, so that's a full work day at that point.
Yep.
And I have a ton of shit to do today, so I was like, I don't even know why I fucking don't just get 2 jobs so that I don't have to do this.
No, I understand that completely. And to make matters worse, I'm the type of person, after 370 episodes, I don't know if you listeners know this about me, but I tend to be a half glass empty guy. I'm not what you would call an optimist or a positive thinker. So Fridays you work until 4:30, 5 o'clock. So that day's shot. That's not a fun day. Then you got Saturday, which is usually running errands or doing work around the house that you didn't get to do all week. And then on Sunday is really just pre-Monday, and you have to go back to work tomorrow. So that day's shot from the moment I get up. So I don't really feel like I ever get a weekend or a break and it's my own fault because I'm just a miserable son of a bitch. But
well, sometimes on Sunday or Saturday, I'll have a few hours where maybe I'll play some games, maybe I will watch something on TV, or maybe I'll just relax, catch up on some YouTube videos or listen to a podcast. That's not going to happen this weekend. And as you can tell, last night you got the podcast news at 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was the first chance I had to sit down and get it.
I got to play a little bit last night, and I wasn't sure if anybody was going to be on, and sure enough, I think Gerald might have been for a little bit, and then he went away.
I haven't played the last 2 nights because it's been nonstop, and today I have 20 things to do as soon as I get off here.
Right, and that's the part that sucks is late at night when you get on. Fridays and Saturdays are about the only nights I play that late.
Yeah, but I'm if I just had a second job, I could ignore this other shit, and I would have as much free time as I have now anyways.
Right. No, I get it.
Just have a little more money.
Right. No, I get it. I do get it.
So I was really in my feels yesterday, and then went to IHOP to eat last night because the last thing I was going to do was fucking cook something after the day I was having. And I was probably an asshole to the waitress.
Oh, no.
She was bad. She was bad at her job. But I wasn't making it any easier either. So
how was she bad at her job? She just was not attentive?
So right off the bat, when we come in, I see somebody on the other side, an employee, because the IHOP that I went to is never busy at night. So I see an employee on the other side eating.
Did you go to the one by the mall?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so they use that whole side over there basically for the employees to just sit around and hang out. Well, she was eating food. So we wait 10 minutes. Nobody ever comes to our table. And then I see the girl who was on the other side eating just come strolling over and then take our order. And it was one of those situations where she knew we had been there so long because she said, "You ready to just do the drinks and food all at once?"
Right.
So it wasn't even like she didn't know. She knew how long we had been there because she went straight to that. So that wasn't the greatest start. And then try to order 2 things and they don't have either one of them. I get that's not her fault, but I mean, it's a little unacceptable that you don't have basic stuff. But anyways, so I get an omelet.
So it was basic?
Yeah, it was. But I get an omelet. They didn't. So she started by telling us they didn't have any raspberries, which is fine. I wasn't going to order anything with raspberries. But she said there's a raspberry shortage. You know, I'm on the internet, so I've not seen anything about a raspberry shortage. So I don't even know if that part's true.
I got to be honest. I don't look at the type of sites that would tell me if there's a raspberry shortage or not.
Pop up in a news feed if there was like a raspberry outage I didn't know about.
I don't know. I don't know that that's. I don't know that that's newsworthy for most of America.
So I finally.
Oh,
Gerald just had to go save a life. He's been gone. You guys didn't know that, but he's been gone.
I don't think I knew that, to be honest.
Well, I didn't either because his video's not up. But so anyways, I order an omelet, right? And I get the Colorado omelet for anybody familiar. It's like a 3-meat cheese. It comes with a salsa that goes on the top situation.
Yep.
So I get it, and as soon as she brings it, which had been like 30 minutes, she brings it over there. I ran out of my drink like 4 times because I was sucking that down because I was feeling some sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
I said, hey, can I get some sour cream? She says, sure thing. She walks back over to the kitchen. At that IHOP you can see in the kitchen. She walks over to she just leans against the wall. And I'm like, I'm never getting the sour cream. Like, because she didn't immediately go get it. I can just tell it's not happening.
Right.
So she stands around bullshitting with everybody. By the time she comes back, I have like 1 bite left. She goes, oh, I forgot that sour cream. Did you like me to grab it?
Yeah.
And I said, not for this bite, but don't worry because it fits in perfect for the rest of the day I've had.
Is that what you told her?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So it does sound like you had a bad waitress.
And then I said, and she said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I said, no, don't even worry about it. She goes, don't worry about it. Yeah, you haven't worried about anything else, so don't worry about this. Don't let this be the thing that holds you up today.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And then, unrelated to her, but these 2 old guys sit beside me, like a booth down from me, and they don't understand their internal volume.
Oh, it happens every time my wife and I go out. We always seem to sit with somebody who sits like a booth or 2 down and is super loud.
So he was the loudest. Everybody in the restaurant could hear him, and he was telling his buddy about how in World War II they used to take and mix sawdust into the pancake mix to make it go further. And the guy's like, they still do that in parts of the world. He's like, with sawdust? And I'm like, I have to go. I have to just go. I just can't anymore. Like, I just have to leave.
I just can't even.
Yeah, so I left. Yesterday sucked.
Yesterday was a horrible day for you. Got it.
Wasn't good.
That's unfortunate.
Yep. Yeah.
I didn't have a bad day yesterday. Of course, I didn't.
That's good.
I went grocery shopping. I didn't do anything of any value yesterday, but I just binge watched on Hulu. The High Fidelity series came out on Friday, so I binge watched that yesterday. Finished it. 10 episodes.
I certainly did not get to do anything like that. Now, I don't want to alarm anybody. Gerald's now gone.
Gone.
He's totally gone.
Yeah.
So he was here earlier, but he left his screen up, so we didn't know he was gone.
Right.
Now he's just totally disconnected from the call.
And it should be noted that we seem to be having video issues throughout the morning where for some reason it just keeps stopping.
Yeah, I don't know where he's at. He could be anywhere. He's gone, though. It says 204 on the call.
It does.
Which is an accident. It should say 203, but you have 2 accounts, and I don't know which is which, so I call both every morning.
That's fine.
Yeah, so, because in fairness, over the 7 years we've been doing this show, you've had like 12 Skype accounts.
It hasn't been, no, it's been like 3. It hasn't been 12.
Because you can't remember passwords.
I can never remember passwords, you're right.
But Gerald is gone.
Gone, yes.
Yeah. I don't know where he is.
Up, gone.
I don't know where he went.
Me either.
But he's gone.
Maybe he was going to save a life again.
He may never. And we should fill you in. What happened was he was recording, and there was a pit bull. His wife, I guess, was coming home or going somewhere, and there was a pit bull that had her like cornered up.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Dog Wrangler himself ran outside.
Caesar, whatever his name is.
Million.
The dog whisperer. Oh, he's back. I think he's back.
Yeah, he's back. He's back and in charge. Hope all is well.
That's right. PG's back. All right.
I don't know if you can say that. I don't know if that runs us into copyright strike.
Because it's a parody. It's a parody at that point.
But it was so dead on. Nope, he's back. Technical difficulty, folks.
Just call me a Backstreet Boy. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. I can work with that.
Who wouldn't be cool with that? Who wouldn't be cool with that? Like, you're good enough to be a Backstreet Boy. It's like, okay, all right.
Yep.
So, which Backstreet Boy would Dan be? AJ. Is that a Backstreet Boy or is that NSYNC?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Can I get an official list?
Are those the Backstreets?
Yeah, that's the Backstreet. Don't you see Nick Carter's?
Oh, yeah, there he is.
The faux hawk right up front.
Yep.
I think AJ's the guy on the left. I'll tell you who I don't like is, I think his name's Kevin, the guy with the mustache in the middle.
I'd like a guy who fills in.
Can we get a list of names?
Yeah, I don't know who's who. I don't think I'm any of them, by the way.
Man, look how young they were and full of life.
I know.
Look at Nick Carter. You know who's insane? Aaron Carter.
Yes, he is.
I think he might struggle with some mental health issues.
He's the one that's all tatted up, right? And is
He got Medusa on his face.
And is constantly in jail. Or constantly taking mugshots anyway. I don't know if that constitutes jail or not, but...
Yeah, I don't know if he's in jail or not, but he for sure threatened to kill his whole family. They all have restraining orders against him.
Yeah.
Okay, AJ McLean. Howie.
Nick Carter. Kevin Richardson.
Kevin is the guy I don't trust. He has a thin mustache.
Yeah, he's a tall guy with a thin mustache.
Yeah, and then Brian. Brian, the real talent of the group.
Yeah, he's a real clean-cut one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look, when you hover over their names, their picture pulls up.
Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool.
Nick Carter, the most famous of the Backstreet Boys.
I would say so, without a doubt.
Howie looks like he sells cars now, so I don't know.
Yes.
That was a cruise ship photo.
Yeah. All right, that's and that's been your Backstreet minute.
You didn't have anything creative?
I didn't. No.
Yeah, about your Backstreet's back minute.
No, I couldn't think of anything time related with a B.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for, was something like time related.
Yeah.
And I got nothing. Music minute, we would definitely not call it because that is apparently taken everywhere.
There's a lot of images that say music minute.
We don't, yeah.
All you got to do, though, is just throw a Dan's music minute right in front of that and you can use it again.
Probably.
Yeah, Minute to Win It. You remember that with Guy Fieri?
I remember it's a thing.
Yep.
I'm not a game show guy.
Are you a Guy Fieri guy?
No. I mean, he's all right.
You know who he is, Gerald?
I mean, Triple D you can't go wrong with, but I don't know.
No, type in Guy Fieri. You'll know him. He's got the fucking spiked hair.
He's got the frosted tips and always wears the fire shirts.
Yeah. Yeah, he does wear the fire shirts and the wrist bling.
Yes, and the wrist bling.
I don't like people that shit on him because he's entertaining.
He is entertaining.
You don't have to like his persona, but he's an entertaining guy.
But I feel like Triple D would be just as good without him, because for me it's more about the places and the food than it is Guy.
But I like that show doesn't work as long without him.
Ooh, I don't know. I disagree with that. I think it does.
It needs him. Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Now on the left, looking a little bit like El Chapo.
Yes. Narcos.
So what we're looking at is a before and after Guy Fieri.
I think somebody photoshopped what he would look like with like a normal mustache and not frosted tips and spiked hair. And
I'm a Guy fan.
Yeah. Have you ever seen those things where people did like photoshops of like if celebrities were normal people?
Yeah. Apparently, Guy looks like El Chapo.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he's fun. I enjoy him. I think he's entertaining.
For some reason, we got a picture of Al from Home Improvement down in there too.
It looks like Jennifer Lawrence with a goatee, also.
Who does?
And frosted tips. So, is that Guy? Looks like a chubby Dean Cain, and Dean Cain's already chubby.
Oh, he's not super chubby, but
I'll see what you did there with the super. Now, see the...
You're right.
See the second row, like the second to last picture? Is that not Jennifer Lawrence turned into Guy Fieri?
Oh yeah, it is. A little J-Law.
Yeah, some people call her that.
He's got French fries for hair. In that one picture.
Yeah, he's good. There's a Drake turned into Guy Fieri.
Oh my lord, there's a lot going on there. There's President Obama turned into Guy Fieri.
There's an Anthony Weiner. Isn't that guy's name?
Is he? Yeah, Anthony Weiner. Yep. Ooh,
look at Guy.
Rocking the mullet in high school.
He had that thick neck, man.
Yeah.
He had that thick neck. And neck just connects right to that head, just connects right to the shoulders.
That's all right. That's a thing.
Yeah, I'm pro Guy Fieri.
Yeah, he's all right. I mean,
Diners, Drive-In, and Dives has been on for 200 years.
it is, and I enjoy that show every time.
Yeah, it's been on forever. I also like Guy's Grocery Game.
Game show. Not into it.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
Not into game shows.
Now, you might be able to verify this, Gerald, or not.
Who's that?
I think he was the winner of like the first season of Food Network Star thing.
Yeah, I think he was too. I think
that was his rise.
He was one of the winners from somewhere.
Yeah, I think like the first season. How come pictures of Al do keep popping up?
I don't know.
Oh, they think they look alike.
Because I believe that's what you won, right?
Yeah, you win your own show whenever you win.
Yeah, so
I think he had a show called like Guy's Big Bite.
Yeah, something like that.
Was the show that he
Yep. Second
season. Second season. Clearly the most prominent winner because he is one of the faces of the Food Network.
Oh yeah.
It's him, douchebag Bobby Flay, and some other people. I just really wanted to call the Bobby Flay a douchebag.
And is that the? You know what Trisha Yearwood does now too?
Yeah, she's has a cooking empire.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's on Food Network though.
She's on one of them.
Yeah, Garth's on there all the time with her.
Right. And then there's the Pioneer woman. I don't know what she's on.
Yeah, she's super popular.
Yeah.
Dee Drummond, I think her name is.
Something like that. But all I know is it makes it easy to buy my mom presents because she likes Pioneer Woman, so.
Man, the people that won the first show got one season and producer Gerald found. They were a fucking failure. I want those two guys to know that you're a failure. Probably because, the name was stupid.
Yeah.
If this is your first time joining us, we usually talk about Food Network shows that we barely know anything about and video games.
Which we know
show is
a little bit more about.
Show's right on target. We've now fulfilled what we normally do per episode.
Exactly.
So, I feel good about this one. We're where we need to be. If you want to support the show, head over to patreon.com/Gamestitch. You can do so over there. If you're broke as shit or don't care about supporting us, you can just tell people. Whoever you want.
You just give them a bit of a heads up.
Maybe you're the person working the meat counter at the grocery store that you frequent.
Yeah.
Maybe let them know.
Maybe you have a waitress who is better than Ryan's. You can let them know.
Well, it won't be hard.
Actually, even if you have a bad waitress, you can tell them too.
I think you just say waiter now. I think I made that mistake too.
Waiter, waitress, food server?
Yeah, I don't
server?
Think everyone's just a waiter.
I think everyone's a server.
Same thing with like actor. There's no actress anymore. It's just actor.
Everybody's an actor?
Yeah.
But they still go away a Best Actress Oscar.
I know. Now, Gerald's screen has turned just totally green on mine.
It has. It's green screen. Got some special effects going on.
It's like Predator vision down there.
Oh, I can get behind that, though. Don't say that like it's bad.
So, tell a server about us. Tell your meat clerk. What's that person called? Not a butcher, but the person that works. Yeah, the deli worker.
The deli clerk.
The deli clerk.
I would say is what it'd be called. The deli clerk.
Yeah, tell them you want a half a pound of turkey.
And listen to Gamestitch.
And you'd like them to listen to the show.
That's right. Get you some sliced provolone cheese, maybe a little ham, a little Black Forest ham, some oven roasted turkey.
I'm a turkey and Swiss guy.
Are you? I don't mind
Yeah.
Swiss. My go-to is ham, turkey, provolone.
Yeah, I like a turkey and Swiss Sammy. But let them know. Let them know what you're after. Let them know why you're really there, and then let them know that they should also be listening to the show each and every week because it posts at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time on services around the world. So there's no reason for them not to listen while they're in there shaving that meat. You know?
Exactly. So what condiments do you use on your sandwich? Any?
So I put a very thin layer of Miracle Whip because I'm not a mayo guy.
Okay.
A very thin layer of that, and then I use an abundant amount of mustard.
Okay.
Because I could take mustard right out of the bottle.
She like Miracle Whip, not mayonnaise. You fucking
Correct.
heathen.
Now I'm not a psychopath. If I don't have Miracle Whip, I can use mayo.
No.
But I prefer the taste of Miracle Whip.
No. You're a heathen.
100%.
We can't
100%.
be friends anymore.
That's fine. Because this is a hill I'll die on. Miracle Whip is a better product.
No, mayonnaise is a better product. I will die on that hill as well. So last episode ever, folks, because we're not friends
They're
anymore.
actually both pretty gross. If you ever just take a second to just look at either one of them, they're pretty a gross looking thing.
Oh, I don't mind mayonnaise. Now,
They're
I will
gross
say, I do like, if I'm making like a tuna salad, I prefer Miracle Whip to mayonnaise. I will say that.
I use it. I do the chicken salad and use Miracle Whip for that as well.
But as far as a condiment on like my sandwiches, it's mayonnaise and mustard.
Yeah,
And usually, depending on the bread I'm using, I'll have a little oil too, because you can't use oil on regular bread.
You could if you're a crazy person.
Yes, but okay. But it needs to be some sort of hard roll or hard bread that you're using if you're going to have oil, such as ciabatta or a good sub roll, a hoagie roll. So
Speaking of hard bread, I went to Panera and got some bagels the other day.
super hard.
Yeah, I thought about suing them for the damage done to my mouth
Yeah.
after consuming one.
Now, that's one thing I have noticed you got to be careful about when you go to Panera is their bread, the outer shell, I guess you would call it, the crust, can be incredibly, incredibly hard and jagged.
Well, he made the waiter that I had last night, he made her seem like a rock star.
Oh, well, that's good.
The guy that took care of me at Panera.
Well, that's good.
Because I asked him he's like, do you want them sliced? And I'm like, well, yeah. If it's an option, I don't want to have to slice them.
Right. I get that.
So they have this industrial bagel slicer. I'm sure you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
It's giant. It's way too big for the action that it performs. But you feed them in there, and it goes. It sounds like you're feeding into a mulcher.
Yes.
And then it shoots it out the bottom split, right? So he does all of them. I get 6 bagels. I'm like, go ahead and split those bastards in half. I get home, 2 of them not even ran through the thing. We didn't even split them.
Oh, no.
So I appreciated that. The other ones, what happened is it looked like it cut the bottom 1/8 of an inch off of them. So each bagel had like a bagel cap that went on top of it, but there's no way you wouldn't cream cheese it right there.
Right. I get it.
Yeah.
I understand your pain. I get it. I'm particular about things too.
So that wasn't great, right? And 6 bagels, it was like $6 or whatever. So I'm standing there waiting, and then this girl walks up, and she's like a younger girl, and when I say younger, probably like early 20s.
Okay.
And she asked if they have any chocolate croissants or whatever those are called, and he's like, we don't because it's 7:00 at night. And she says, well, I'm just going to get a few cookies then. So he gets her cookies. He stops cutting my fucking bagels.
To get her cookies. Oh, yeah.
To get her cookies. And then he hands them to her and goes, these are on the house.
Oh. Because she didn't have the... Well, no, okay, first of all, he wanted to bang. But second of all, it's because he didn't have the chocolate croissant to make the customer
Well, my
happy.
bagels weren't on the fucking house.
Yeah, well, because I go back to the banging thing.
The son of a bitch. I hope he's listening. I hope he makes it right next time we meet. Now, I don't go to Panera often. But I wanted a good bagel.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out that was the wrong call.
Do you think their bagels are better than like Dunkin' or?
No, but I drive by Panera to get home.
Okay.
And I wasn't driving by Dunkin'. There's a Dunkin' on the way home now.
Oh, well, good. That's good.
But at the time, I was already over there.
Fair enough.
I was just driving. I was like, you know what? I want a bagel. Does that ever happen to you?
No.
Okay. That's what happened to me. And I pulled in, and I was like, let me go inside because it seems like it'll get screwed up if I try to order bagels through the drive-thru.
And it turns out it gets screwed up regardless.
Doesn't even matter. Doesn't matter what I do. I can't win.
Now,
so
speaking of Dunkin' and all donut places, regardless, I am having my favorite donut is the donut with dunked in the peanuts, the peanut chunks, and no one will sell them anymore
because of the allergies.
I guess, but it pisses me off because now I don't eat donuts anymore because those are the kind of donuts I like.
Well, now that you say that, I haven't seen one in a hot minute. Now, you like that one right there, right, where they dip it in chocolate, then dip it in nuts?
No, it's just with nuts.
Oh,
it's just like a glazed donut with nuts on it. I don't even think it's glazed.
Yeah, well, see that white one down there, the third row, second picture. That's what I was picturing when you said that, where it's chocolate on the top and then they dip the nuts on it.
Oh no, this is the whole donut is in peanut chunks.
That's like
they used to have them at
terrible.
Dunkin' all the time.
America runs on it, so
well,
it would make sense that they would have it.
Not this America.
Now, I will say Dunkin' has a strong contender for best bagel with their everything bagel.
There it is.
Yeah, it's a glazed.
Yeah, it's a glazed donut with peanuts.
With
You can't find those anywhere anymore.
Probably because it's got half a jar of peanuts on it.
So what?
Literally the most expensive donut that they sell.
I'm not fucking allergic to it. I don't care. That's what I want.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about from a cost perspective.
Oh.
The Matt or Nat of Taste. I don't know who they are.
Me either.
I like a blueberry cake donut is my favorite donut.
Oh, no. I don't. I have no love for blueberry anything.
Let me tell you what I have no love for is a glazed donut.
No?
Nope. I don't understand the thrill of a glazed donut.
Oh, I like a glazed donut.
People are like, you got to have them warm. I'm like, they're only slightly less shitty that way.
No, I like them.
I don't like a glazed donut.
You are obviously not a donut connoisseur.
Well, no, because I prefer a cake donut.
Yes, and see, I don't like cake. I want a donut.
Some places have the sour cream cake donuts, and they're even better.
I don't mind a sour cream donut. I do not want it made out of cake.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I'm not turning away a donut that's a regular glazed donut, but also I'm never like, it's not changing my life.
Well, no, I don't think it's not changing my life, but I like a glazed donut.
Now, if I was given the option between bagel and cream cheese or a donut, I take the bagel every time.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Every time. I like a everything bagel, and if we're talking about Dunkin' specifically, I like a everything bagel with the garden vegetable cream cheese.
See, I am very plain. I like just a plain bagel with regular cream cheese.
I like all that shit to be in my lap when I get done eating it. The poppy seeds and the onions and all. I like all that in my lap.
But actually, my wife actually has a recipe for bagels that she makes, and there's an everything seasoning, and she puts them on them, and they're fucking delicious, man.
Do you have to boil them?
No, they get baked.
So I thought you had to boil a bagel and then bake it.
Well, this is a homemade thing, so it's...
I don't know that. I thought that. That may not even be true.
It could just be a donut. I don't know. But whatever it is, they calls them bagels, but...
Are bagels baked or boiled? That's what producer Gerald's about to search for.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're about to get a bunch of sites. You're like, do you like your bagels boiled or baked?
Yep.
A bagel
has to be
boiled before baked. That's what the process I thought, because I think I've looked into making my own bagels before.
Mm-hmm.
But when I realized you had to cook them twice, I was like, who's got time for that?
Well, this is some healthy recipe that she has, and they're calling them homemade bagels. They're obviously not an authentic bagel. But
I mean,
they're fucking
if it tastes
good.
like a bagel and looks like a bagel, it's a bagel.
They're fucking good.
I'm not a bagel purist. So if they taste like a bagel to you, then they're a bagel.
Yeah, they work for me.
But I think the boiling is what makes it have that doughy texture.
Yes, and it kind of solidifies the outside.
Yeah, and then
like
you
that.
bake it to kind of crisp it up.
Yeah.
But I would be interested. There's a lot of things I want to do. Making bagels is on the list, but it seems like a lot of work.
Anytime you do baking, it's a lot of work, man.
And it doesn't last as long because it's not chock full of preservatives.
Right, and it's precise.
So you have to eat it like immediately, and you're like, I like bagels, but I don't want 3 a day.
And the problem with baking is you have to be very precise with your measurements. There's no a pinch of or any of that. It's
if you're at home and you've got bagels, you take that cream cheese and spread on there. I like a whipped cream cheese also, just for the ease of spreading. Mm-hmm. And you put a little bit of mustard on there. You put that turkey we were talking about earlier with some Swiss on there. You cut that baby in half. That's an excellent breakfast sandwich.
See, my breakfast sandwiches, I prefer English muffins.
I don't have a problem with English muffin. I'll tell you what I do with the English muffin, and this is going to turn a lot of people off. I like to toast it, and then I like to immediately hit it with a little dab of butter.
Oh yeah,
and let that butter melt, and then I like to come on top of that butter, and I like to put a layer of peanut butter.
I do. I eat them the exact same fucking way, dude.
Holds that fucking hot butter in there.
I eat them the exact same way.
Golly, really?
Yeah, exact same way.
Is that a thing?
I don't think it is. Everyone always thought it was weird for eating them that way.
Yeah. So my mother used to make them for me that way. That's like how I know them.
Yeah, but yeah.
Fucking incredible. If you're not doing that, you're missing out.
That peanut butter, and when it on that hot, it gets nice and like melty, drippy on your plate. Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
Super good.
I am with you 100%.
I would eat 2 of those right now.
All right, that makes up for the Miracle Whip shenanigans.
I don't think you're the mayo purist you thought, because you use Miracle Whip. So a lot of people, they won't even hear about.
Well,
Miracle
no,
Whip.
that's true. But I'll tell you what does piss me off, and this has actually happened to me. If someone says, I'm going to the store, do you need anything? And I say, yay, mayonnaise, and you come back with Miracle Whip, I'm kicking you out of my fucking house.
Well, that's an uneducated person.
And you're taking your Miracle Whip with you.
Yeah, you do have to know that they're different.
No. Well, they're the same. Stop talking to me. You're not allowed anymore.
They're sandwich spread adjacent, but they're not the same. I'll tell you what I don't have time for: people who don't like mustard.
Yeah, no, me either. Mustard is a necessity in my world.
Mustard is the best condiment.
I would agree with that.
It goes on almost anything. Now, Gerald, do you hate mustard? Yeah, he doesn't. I thought that you didn't love it. Now, Gerald's a ketchup guy, though. Puts ketchup on his hot dog, which is a whole different problem.
I put both on my hot dogs, ketchup and mustard.
So you're half right. It's not bad. It's not bad.
I'd say
Look at all these delicious bagels.
I'd say I'm twice as right. That's what I would say.
Nah, you don't. No.
Is that a
cream cheese bagel cakes? Those look like donuts.
They do. They do.
I bet they're
donuts.
tasty.
They probably are. A lot of stuff's tasty.
Now, Gerald tweeted during last week's show.
What's that?
Gerald tweeted during last week's show to the
yes to Andy,
the creator. I don't know if he wrote it. The singer, I'm gonna say singer-songwriter of the Golden Girls theme. Mm-hmm. Now you say that he liked the tweet.
He did.
Yeah. So
Andrew Gold Music.
So if you guys are out there, let's get a push to get him on the show.
We want Andy on.
Yeah, find that tweet that he liked and reply to him and be like, Andy, you got to go talk to these guys. They're big fans. Because, in fact, we are.
Bigger fans than we thought, actually.
Yeah.
We didn't know we were fans until last week. But we're all in now.
Yeah. Yeah, look at him right there up top.
Yeah.
Liked by Andrew Goldman. Let's go, give that guy a follow. What are we doing?
Yeah,
let's go ahead and follow him. He's probably wondering what in the actual shit is going on.
I'd probably, but maybe he's happy to get a shout out on Twitter.
Yeah, at the point he's at, it's probably nice to just people to know that you still are alive.
Right.
And I would genuinely love to have him on the show. And I know that we don't do anything with music. It's fine.
He doesn't do anything with video games?
It's fine. Well, I mean, we don't have a boss.
Right, we can do what we want.
Right, we'll just interview the guy and hang out with him for 10 or 20 minutes, whatever he could spare. It's just a hangout session so that I could one day tell someone, I also love Golden Girls, and guess what? One time I did.
Yeah.
And we'll see what kind of bagel the guy likes.
Right.
I'll tell you one thing I know. He eats mustard. I feel it in my bones.
Yeah,
He's
maybe.
No, he is.
I guess we'll find out. Maybe, hopefully.
First question, how sick are you of that song? That's the very first question I ask.
God, I love his hair, though.
His hair looks good.
His hair looks good.
He's a good looking man. So
his hair is all flowy and wavy, and
yeah, he's got like a lion's mane.
Man, that's like a luscious mane right there.
Yeah.
What'd you play this week?
Just the regular stuff. Just Rocket League. Just Farm Together. Might be it. Maybe it's those two games.
That'd be it.
I purchased Golem, or Golem. I think it's Golem. It's a
Golem.
PSVR game.
It's Golem.
It was on sale it's normally $39. It was on sale for $29. Then they had a $4 off promo code on Amazon, and then I had a credit, so I ended up paying $4 for that game.
Nice. Well done.
So I'm excited. I installed it, didn't play it yet, but that's one I'm going to check out very soon. And then Dreams had an actual release, came out on Valentine's Day, so Dreams now has a single-player campaign, which I think is just a few hours long. But I'm going to play that, and I hope that I'm going to get into Dreams and start maybe creating now that it's out.
And you made another purchase too, didn't you?
I don't know. Did I?
I think everybody did.
Oh, yeah. I bought the Division 2 because it's $3. And if you're listening to this and you haven't bought it, you should. It's $3. You should support the fact that they're selling it for $3 even if you never play it. Because more publishers should do this with their games once they have seen their peak.
Yep.
And I will probably play this game twice, and I will never regret it because it was $3. Should buy it. If this is invading your ear holes, you should spend the $3. It's on sale on Steam or Epic, wherever it's at online, maybe both of them. And it's on sale on PS4 as well as Xbox.
Yep.
It's $3 everywhere. And GameStop has the physical for $5.
And they're getting ready to have a new DLC comes out that you have to pay for, but Warlords of New York. So it's a return to the locale of the first game, which a lot of fans have been clamoring for. So,
and if you're wondering why he says you have to pay for DLC, he means it's not included with the season pass.
Yes. Yeah. Because of course
he wasn't just taking a stab at them because they're trying to make money. He's taking a stab at them because he already paid them money. Nobody get confused.
I don't know that I'm mad. I mean, I get it, but I mean, essentially from the size of it, it sounds like it's more of an expansion than it is DLC. Which is different. I mean,
you're going back to New York to top the loose ends, right?
The
idea behind it.
Yep, it's going back to the first game. But apparently it's 4 zones, and if I remember correctly, the Division 2 is 7. So
it's pretty hefty.
It's a pretty good expansion. Pretty large expansion. So I understand why they would be calling for more payment.
Do you know what the price is?
I want to say $24.99. But I don't know that that's right.
Are you excited to see everybody get in the Division?
I am, because I think it's going to be fun. I have no delusions that we're going to see this thing through and endgame it. But it's going to be fun to play it with some friends.
There's a real chance a lot of you could see the end game. I will never see the end game.
You won't see the end game. I don't know that. I don't know the producer Gerald will. I don't know the friend of the show Howard will. Or Marshall 205, whoops.
Friend of the show, Marshall 205 picked it up. But here's the thing. He pissed me off a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Because I said, hey, the Division 2 is $3 and I'm going to buy it. And he said, well, then I'll buy it too if we're going to play it. And I said, realistically, I probably only play that game twice.
Mm-hmm.
So then he buys it, and then friend of the show, Patman, gets on. And he says, we just bought the Division because it's $3. And he says, holy shit, that's a great deal. He goes, yeah, but Ryan's never going to play it.
Who said that?
I'm like, what? That's what friend of the show,
Patman?
Marshall 205 said. And I'm like, what did I tell you before I bought it? If you were concerned about that, you shouldn't have bought it because I told you probably only going to play it twice.
Right.
Played Fallout 76 a handful of times. Played Anthem once. Like, for games that are less than $5, if I don't love it, like, I'm probably not going to stick around.
Right.
I like games to be that cheap, and I'll probably always pick them up.
Now, it's unfortunate, too, because I think when we played I know we played the first Division together, but we didn't do it right. But I think you would really, really enjoy it coming in at the beginning with, a bunch of friends that are all the same level. And then the first game when you and I played, there was some leveling issues.
So the game was wrong, and then we did it wrong.
Yes.
But when I think about, I also played some Wreckfest. So when I think about right now, I could come home and I could play Farm Together, I could play Wreckfest, I could play Rocket League, I could get back into Dreams, I could do VR. Like, all of those sound better to me than playing the Division.
No, I understand that.
And they sounded better than Fallout. They sounded better than Anthem. It's not specific to that game, but like some of these experiences, I want to experience them, but I don't want to do it every night. Like Sea of Thieves, I love. I don't want to play that game every night.
No, I get it, and that's the problem with Division 2. Is either of them is you kind of have
need to.
Yeah.
Because what happens is everybody moves on, or everybody gets frustrated and they quit too.
Right, or if you don't keep up with it, the people that do, once you get in there, you're just fucking done, man.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'll play it a couple times.
Level cap is 500. I've got a character at 498, or I shouldn't say level cap, power cap is 500. I've got one at 498, so I'm not too far off, but there's some tweaking to my build I would probably need to do, without a doubt, because I know they've released a lot of stuff since I got back into it. But I can always just create a new character to play with you guys and see where it takes me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say that I don't get in there and have the best time ever and I want to keep playing it. It's just like when I purchased that game, I purchased expecting to play it once or twice.
Right.
Understood. So for him to make the comment that I wasn't going to play it, it's like, yeah, I told you that. Don't do that to me. Don't act like I'm not always transparent about how many times I'm going to play those kind of games.
Well, I think Patman had it, and I don't think he really got into the second one either too much.
Yeah, he finished it.
Did he?
Yeah.
But that's as far as he got. He didn't get too far into Endgame.
Yeah, I don't know. I know he finished it. He said that he felt like it was a little longer than it needed to be.
Yeah.
So I didn't get the vibe like he kept playing it because he made the comment that he felt like it was didn't get out of its own way at the end.
Yeah, it did a little bit, and I can see that. But, of course, I kept digging through Endgame and stuff. I don't think he did. I think he finished it, probably got a little into the Endgame, and then called it. Probably
the show, Matt spent like 600 hours on it.
He did. He really loved it. And
I don't think anyone that I know played that game more than he did. It's like all he played for 3/4 of the year.
Yeah.
Like, till Death Stranding came out, it's the only thing he played. And
I played it a bunch, too. I mean,
he really latched onto that game. So
yeah.
I'm sure there's something to it. You've loved both of them, and he played the shit out of that. And I just,
I remember him being a little let down about not being able to play Division 1.
Yeah.
How come no one told me it was this good? I'm like, I told you. What are you talking about? Someone did.
But everybody should buy it for $3 regardless.
Without a doubt. And all I've played this week is more Borderlands 3. I finished it. Now I'm digging through. It? What's that?
You happy with it? Happy with how it tied up?
Yeah.
Wrapped up, I guess.
It wrapped up the current story, but it also left it open for the next game. So it wasn't one or the other. But yeah, very satisfying ending. I liked it. I liked the fact so much better than... To me, the last Borderlands were a lot of fun, but their stories were a little lacking. I thought this story was good. Right now, I'm cleaning some stuff up. I'm, taking over some side missions and doing some of the mayhem modes and some of the extra modes. And I'm going to keep playing that game. I do want to get in there and play with some people. It'll be randos. That's fine. But what's nice is it's not an MMO, but it has after game stuff you can do. So it's kind of in between. So that's, to me, that's good. Because it doesn't mean I have to invest, 12 hours a fucking day to min-max my build.
Right.
But there's still stuff to do after the game to keep me going and playing with other folks and stuff. Plus, I've still got 3 other characters that I can play if I want to. So, yeah, I'm going to keep playing that. I really, really, really like that game.
Would you play that and The Division at the same time? That seems like a lot.
It seems like a lot, yeah. No, I would have to play one or the other.
Yeah. Well, let's dive into the news. Because we're running a little long, because that's what we do. We're both long and strong,
Long, strong, with all the dong.
Yeah, what was that? Long, strong, and what?
With all the dong.
This first story is more interesting than anything, I think.
For what it doesn't say?
Well, no, not for that. Just so for all of the way the Xbox One Series X was announced. It's not called Xbox One either. The Xbox Series X. For the way it was announced, everybody was sort of surprised. Well, it turns out maybe even Microsoft was sort of surprised. Mm-hmm. Because it apparently comes down to one person that made that happen, and it's not Phil Spencer like you would assume.
No.
So he went on to Gamertag Radio, where he talked about the way the Xbox Series X was announced, and he said, we made the decision. The decision was actually really pushed forward by one marketing lead, and she's awesome. She just stood up in her room and said, we should do something bold, something we've never done before when talking about the reveal. And let's face it, we're not in the market position we wanted to be in for last generation. I don't think we're going to disrupt and grow our business by just doing what we've always done. Let's try to do some new things. And I think it worked, but it's interesting to me that it happened basically because of one person. That wasn't how they planned to reveal the Xbox Series X. He calls it risky, and also extremely risky to show off Hellblade with it. Mm-hmm. And he basically goes on to say that all went almost better than he even expected.
Right.
Because it could have been a disaster at this point right now to reveal it that way. He also gives major props to Geoff Keighley for not only for the Game Awards, but the fan base around the Game Awards and how it's been turned into a can't-miss event. And nothing seems to get lost in the announcements at the Game Awards. Yeah,
Phil Spencer, I was very impressed by Geoff Keighley's, I guess you would say, his strategy and his vision for it.
His gusto.
And what it pulls out. And, I mean, I believe somewhere in here he goes on to say, Phil Spencer says later that, look, we're losing right now. We got to start making the risky moves. And I think that was one of the moves, and I think it paid off.
Well, I think it's weird, though, because he already knew they were losing and that they needed to take some chances. It's weird that someone else had to stand up in a room and go, why don't we just show it off at the Game Awards? That, to me, is very bizarre.
It is, I suppose. But, all these companies, they're so on their, they have their timelines and they have their marketing plans, and it's nice to have someone, even if it's just one person, to come in and step outside the box and say, hey, why don't we do this? And everybody like, holy shit, why didn't we think of that? Well, because those guys aren't trained to think outside the box. They're trained to, this is how things are done.
I wish that he had named her specifically. So
I think that
give her a proper shout out.
Right, I agree.
But shout out to you for being bold and being different, and hopefully they promoted her. But Phil went on to say, I like trying something bold. I'm really happy with the way things played out and the response from the fans. But every decision we make between now and launch, we're trying to think about things in a different way. Some of them we'll get right, some of them we won't. But we're definitely not going to be meek. We're going to be bold in what we're trying to do. I'll tell you, they have to be.
Yeah, they don't have a choice. I mean, that's the strategy they have to take at this point.
Sony is extremely lucky because they can go on autopilot and wait for Microsoft to say everything first.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, the thing that matters more than anything that they'll write in any story is the price point.
Yes.
Because Microsoft is going to have to announce first. I mean, Sony basically flat out said that they're waiting to see. There's some market indicators they're waiting on.
Right.
Namely Microsoft.
Now, on a note related to that, it's not actually on the news, but there has been some, I guess you would say, some consensus, some predictions on what it's going to cost, and they're saying it's going to be somewhere between $450 and $475. In order for them to make any money on the console. If they bring it into $399, they're going to lose money. That's Sony that I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I read an article, I think, a couple of days ago where, Sony's still claiming they don't actually know what they need to make it for because there's issues with the coronavirus right now and whether or not either company is even going to be able to launch on time.
Right.
It's already started impacting the Switch supplies, and it's all due to most everything being produced at, in one giant mega factory that I won't name because I think they're kind of sketchy. They treat their people bad. They have a net to catch the people that jump off the roof around the building. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. But I thought it was interesting that they seem to have put their entire marketing strategy on one person who was fed up in a board meeting.
That's cool.
Big fan. Shout
I
out to
like
you.
that
Hope you
person.
got promoted. Yep.
I'm a new fan of her. And
yeah,
I hope she got a promotion, and I want to know who she is.
Yeah, hopefully her name does come out, and only because she deserves proper recognition.
100%.
And I'm sure if she wanted her name out there, it would have been out there. Phil is an extremely fair guy, and he loves to give props to people. He very often gives props to Nintendo and Sony. For their games. So I do believe that if she wanted her name out there, it would have been out there. And we'll stick kind of on this vibe. Geoff Keighley gets major props there, and then Geoff announces that he will not be at E3 2020 in an official capacity as the host of the, what did they call the thing? The E3 Coliseum.
Yeah.
So you know how in between and when stuff isn't going, they always had him on another stage talking to developers, and they did have, where they would announce games on there and everything like that. He's not going to be there this year.
Nope. And he goes on to say that basically his statement was, for the past 25 years, I have attended every E3. Covering, hosting, and showing E3 has been a highlight of my year, not to mention a defining part of my career. I've debated what to say about E3 2020. While I want to support the developers who will showcase their work, I also need to be open and honest with you, the fans, about precisely what to expect from the decisions I have made. From the difficult decision I have made to decline to produce E3 Coliseum. For the first time in 25 years, I will not be participating in E3. I look forward to supporting the industry in other ways and at other events in the future. And essentially he goes on to say that he doesn't feel comfortable participating, given what I know about the show as of today. Sorry, E3.
I mean, read between the lines. He has a problem with what ESA is doing.
Yep.
I also think it's probably getting increasingly harder for him to produce that show along with the Video Game Awards.
Yep, and he wants to put his focus on the Video Game Awards.
Yeah, to hear him talk. I just realized the thing fell down.
Yeah.
To hear him talk, it sounds like the Video Game Awards start as soon as they end.
Yep.
So, it makes sense that maybe doing both doesn't align. But, we've talked with at length about ESA and maybe the poor decisions they've made. And E3, obviously, with the leak of personal data and then with the activations, as they call them this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're seeing a lot of companies choose not to be there.
Not to be a part of
Nintendo
it.
has said they will have an E3 presence. Phil Spencer has spoken length about the importance of E3 and Microsoft being there. So, it's not going away. I think Limited Run announced that they're going to do their first ever E3 spot.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think E3 is going to adapt and change. And I think this is a bold but smart decision for Geoff Keighley because I think that his focus should be on the thing that he does best and the biggest thing that he has. And I think by far that is the Game Awards.
Right. I mean, Geoff Keighley is synonymous with video games, and now he's getting to a point where he's starting to, get into producing his own things with video games, and that is the direction he wants to go in. That's the way he needs to lean. Yeah.
So I do think it'll be odd and different without him, but they'll probably throw a Sessler or somebody in there.
Maybe.
Probably won't feel too awkward. Maybe a Morgan Webb, maybe a Greg Miller. They'll throw somebody who's very likable into that role, and it'll be weird not to be Geoff, but people will forget, and I think he's fine with that too.
Yep.
Moving on, this is a quick hit, but I wanted to let people know there are 5 games coming to Stadia, 5 new games announced coming to Stadia, and 3 of them will be timed exclusives on Stadia first. So of the timed exclusive, there are Lost Worlds Beyond the Pages, Splitlings, and Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Those are all coming in spring and summer for Stadia. Exact release dates weren't given. Lost Worlds is a narrative-driven atmospheric puzzler set inside the pages of a young girl's diary. Stacks on Stacks on Stacks is a 3D tower builder, and Splitlings is a multiplayer game with a unique twist. They've also confirmed that Panzer Dragoon Remake and Serious Sam Collection will also be coming to Stadia. I felt compelled to put that in there because
they need some good stuff. They need some good stuff to be said about them because everybody shits on them. I get it.
Everybody shits on them, and I just thought that we wouldn't be the voice that's shitting on them. We'll let you draw your own opinion, but we're just going to give you the good and the bad, I think.
Yeah.
We've given you plenty bad, and I think we've also tried to give you a lot of good. And
right.
Keep moving along at that rate.
Yeah. And Ryan and I, on to the next story. But Ryan and I have discussed numerous times on this show the importance of other types of media related to video games. Well, if you ever question why these things happen, you just need to know that Witcher 3 sales for the game rose by more than 500% in the wake of the TV show. It came out, obviously, in November. I think it was November 3rd. It came out in December 2019. Sales of the physical copies of The Witcher 3 rose by 554% compared to a year before, December 2018. Now, it was expected that they would increase. I don't know if the 554% was quite what the expectation was. That was both physical and digital copies. Both rose over 500%. Even go so far as the books rose by a significant amount as far as the amount of those sold. So, like I said, we've talked numerous times about how do they need to make games for movies? Do they need to make TV shows out of movies? I know Ryan's coming against it on sometimes and coming for it on sometimes, or comic books or whatever. I think this here is probably a bit of an argument for. And it just...
I think it's on a game-to-game basis if it makes sense.
I
also,
do too.
If the show sucks, I don't think this happens at all.
True. That's true. You are absolutely correct.
A lot of factors that go into it. I do want to...
That's true.
Those are just physical sales.
Yes.
Those don't count. Yes. You said physical and digital. Those are just physical. So digital, this number's probably even more astonishing. Which is crazy. They also said that the Switch sales rose by 63%. So obviously a big bump there. But there's a lot of factors here. Like, I assumed that The Witcher 3 wasn't selling very much last year. Or in 2018. Right. So to rise 500% is impressive, but we don't know what the numbers were before. So, keep in mind that it was a game that was probably, not doing not doing crazy well. But obviously you can't argue with the impact that the TV show has had, but I do think, I stand by that I don't think every game needs a movie property or a show property, but if done right,
and if it fits into the context, we talked about it a little bit last week with the Crash Bandicoot runner, people shitting all over it, but it brings that attention to that product and brings money in for them to continue to make the things you love.
Yep.
So,
congrats to Netflix, to CD Projekt Red, and to what's his face,
Andrzej Sapkowski.
Yeah, because that I would say that The Witcher is more powerful than it ever has been.
Well, without a doubt, probably.
Another quick hit, Half-Life Alyx now has an actual release date. It's going to launch on March 23rd, 2020. So remember, this is the VR follow-up to Half-Life. So
yeah,
people are excited about it. It now has a date.
I'm not one of them, but
I think it's coming to every headset except for PSVR right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
But
I believe that's true.
That.
Right now, The Last of Us 2 has a free PS4 theme available on the store. It is a universal code. Right now, I'm going to give the North and South America codes. I will probably do it in the style of the phonetic alphabet. So, if this is something you're interested in, it actually has two different images. I think one has Ellie playing guitar, and maybe that's the only one. Oh no, one with her hiding, I believe, behind a tree with a machete. So you have two options of it. Anyway, just a quick hit because we like to give you free stuff. The code is 4 Foxtrot Mike Papa Bravo Bravo November Mike Juliet 5 Lima 3. Quick recap. That is 4 FMP BBNM J5L3. So if you're interested in those themes, just go over to the store, redeem that code. It's a universal code, doesn't expire. But I believe it's only available. Maybe it's available forever. I thought there was a delete date on it.
I'm sure there's a date on it. I don't think it's here, but they did this with Ghost of Tsushima a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. That one had a firm end date. I'm sure this one does too. This is kind of neat that Sony's doing this. They're shooting those out on their Twitter, in case you're wondering where those come from.
Well, you can see them on the PlayStation blog usually too, if you follow that.
Yep. So pretty neat that they're putting those up, and they're free. So if you're into themes, why not grab them?
Yeah. Did you get yours?
No, I didn't get the last one either. It's fine.
Oh, I did. I got both of them.
So I've had Rocket League theme on my PS4 forever, and before that, I went from Mod Nation, I think, to Rocket League. So,
I like to
one
switch
theme
mine up
per generation, really, to rule them all. Last story. This is a cool one for me. Nintendo and Sony's collaboration, the PlayStation, 2 words, prototype is currently at auction, and at time of the article I pulled, it was $350,000. We'll let Gerald pull up the actual auction. I think I put the link in the show notes.
I think last I saw it was up to over 4.
Let's see what it shows now.
Yeah, there it is.
Look at that bad boy.
No, it is still $350.
So, but look at the fine print below that. There's a buyer's premium, so it's not actually $350.
Right.
It's $420,000.
Right.
Once you actually purchase it. I mean, this thing is cool. You're not going to have another opportunity to buy this. So I was thinking, now, you're not a guy who really collects video games. You collect a lot of stuff, but not really video games. If you had money in the bank, would you be interested in this? We're talking a very wealthy individual where you can make decisions like this.
Yeah, if I was still me and I had gazillions of dollars, I'd be interested.
You with millions, was this something you would think about putting on the shelf?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because it's neat. And at some point, you can always sell it for more, you know?
I would certainly be interested. And speaking of interested, Palmer Luckey, founder of Oculus, is one. He has publicly said that he is one of the bidders, and he can't figure out who the hell's bidding against him. I think he said something to the tune of like, "What other moron is bidding against me?"
Right.
To call himself a moron as well. So, I don't think he uses the word moron, but it's something along those lines. Like, what other idiot is also bidding?
Like,
on
we're
this?
both stupid because we're going to blow our money on this thing.
Yeah. So it still has 19 days left. So if you're loaded as fuck and you don't support us on Patreon, which is weird, you can head over and you could buy this thing. You know, you got all that money, you can't throw us $1, but whatever. It's crazy. 19 days left. It's on Heritage Auctions. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. They have a lot of. So I'll tell you what happened is I pulled this story, right, and then on this site you can see all these other games that are for sale as well. I went down a rabbit hole last night. I was like, what if I just sold everything I own? How much is it worth? And I got like 6 things in, and I was like, I can't. I'm done. I don't know. It's a lot of money. Also, I'm feeling some sort of way about it. You know, I don't want to let it go.
Oh, it was a lot of money, huh?
Well, like a sealed GameCube is breaking anywhere from $300 to $500, and I think I have 2 of them.
Right.
A sealed Game Boy player is like $250. I have that copy of Ocarina of Time that's sealed, and that thing is going for crazy high. It's selling for $700-800. Not Ocarina of Time. It's Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask.
That thing's going crazy high. You know, I've got Action 52 for NES, which is selling for a couple $100. I mean, you could easily just go through a couple things and you're at, you know, $3,000. But man, you know.
Yeah.
Then you don't have it. The Pokemon or the Pikachu N64 I have is selling for a few $100. I think I paid $50 for it.
Yeah.
But if I sell it, I don't have one.
That's true.
So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've been thinking about cutting down the amount of stuff that I have. For those that collect, you know that like GameCube and N64 and things like that will never be higher than they are right now, more than likely, because the generation is going to pass, and then it will start being PS1s and PS2s and things like that that'll start selling for money. That's just how it works. So I don't know, but you know, I think about letting it go, and I'm like, wouldn't it be nice to have, you know, the money I would get from it, but that money would just be spent and gone.
Yeah, right.
Where these are forever, you know? So, I don't know.
I get it.
You've been getting rid of your comics for the last 10 years, so.
That's true.
I know that you get it. I probably know less than 40 times you have told me, I think I'm just going to get rid of them all. And to my knowledge, they're all still there.
None of them. I haven't sold a single one of them yet.
So, I remember...
Not a single one.
I was having lunch with Gerald one time, and he was selling off a bunch of, you tell me if I'm wrong, Gerald, selling off a bunch of Dragon Ball Z figures and statues and stuff that he has. And I'm like, oh yeah, you thinning down? He's like, no, I'm just buying better ones. And I was like, see, he's the guy that gets it. He's not getting rid of stuff, but just getting different stuff with that stuff.
Yeah.
So he's got look at that Jordan.
The Jordan Xbox?
Xbox One, yeah. That's pretty neat looking. But yeah. That's a console you can win. That's pretty sharp looking.
It is.
I wish the controller didn't have the Jumpman on there and was just red, but I like it on the console. But, you know, I think most of the people that I'm around collect one thing or another. So, you know, they get it. When you talk about selling stuff, they're like, oh yeah, you going to? And you're like, I don't know. And they get it, right? You get that response because you're the same way.
Yeah.
So I'm probably not going to sell anything.
Man, I got a bunch of stuff that's worth. Oh.
That Xbox comes with shoes. Quick update.
Yeah, I'm constantly thinking about selling stuff, and then I don't.
Yeah, because then you don't have it.
And then and then the thing, I just buy more stuff though, like an idiot.
Yeah, if you use what you sell, like let's say you sell comics and you buy Green Arrow statues, that makes sense. But if you sell what you have and you don't buy those, you just spend that money on bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
Groceries and oil changes.
Right.
And you have nothing to show for it. So if you don't take that money and reinvest in the collection,
yeah,
it was all for naught. Yeah, Gerald sells shoes to buy Legos. You're trading one collection for another. I get it when it comes to that. But am I going to realistically sell a few $1,000s worth of video games and reinvest in a few thousand? I would just buy the same shit I just sold back.
Right. Right.
Because those are things that now have an emotional attachment for me.
Yes.
No. How much is
you don't
that
have? You don't have $420,000 worth of stuff.
No, I think realistically, I probably have about $10,000 worth of stuff. I might have made the first bid on that thing. Yeah, I probably could have dropped an opening bid on that thing. It probably opened at $100,000.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
So, it's just I don't know. Let us know what you collect. Twitter @game_stitch, podcast Gamestitch.com. Let us know. Let us know what's near and dear to your heart. People collect stamps, coins, baseball cards. It's great. You can collect anything. Trash bags, newspapers.
I've scaled back to pretty much just Green Arrow stuff at this point.
Now, I want to make a couple caveats. If you collect the latter, trash bags, newspapers, tinfoil, people think you're a hoarder. I'm not saying don't do it, but people think you're a hoarder. Also, I think if you collect multiple things, it's very easy to accidentally become a hoarder. If you're like I collect dining room chairs, basketball cards, and pizza boxes, then you might be a hoarder. But if you keep it fairly focused, it's unfair for people to call you a hoarder because it's a collection.
True.
Right, it's a collection. I don't hoard. I don't keep everything. I just keep all the shit that pertains to this. So, that's my thought.
Fair.
As someone who's been called a hoarder before. So, Gerald's going through the amount of things that he collects, and I will just tell you, maybe a hoarder. Because he has got a lot of things he collects.
Yeah, he does.
He's up to 2, which is already getting... I, for the most part, just collect video game stuff. But,
Yeah, I got down a rat... When we worked at... GameStop, I went down a rabbit hole because I just bought all that fucking shit.
Yeah.
Not even shit I loved. Just...
Well, because it's cheap.
Right.
Yeah.
And something went on sale and you're like, ooh.
Yeah. He collects basically every card ever made. He collects baseball cards twice.
Shoes.
Legos, all cards, shoes. Dragon Ball stuff. Z.
Spawn.
Yeah, see, what he is a hoarder.
Yeah, that's different.
And I can say that because I love Gerald. I can say that he's a hoarder.
He's not very focused.
Also, I can hear him and you guys can't, so it's fine. Video game figs. Yeah, it's everything. I just try to... You guys were going back and forth in a group text about the amount of figures that you had.
Mm-hmm.
And I typed that I had probably 40 little Sackboy figures.
Yes, you did.
But I didn't send that because I was like, I'm not even going to get in this with them. I'm not even going to be a part of this conversation because you guys seem like fucking nerds in that text. When you're like, I got 40 whatever Green Arrow stuff, and he's like, I've got 160 Spawn figures, and I want to be like, well, I've got about 40 Sackboy. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to let them have this one.
But here's the thing. I think this maybe the... Like, I get that 162 is a lot, and my 40 doesn't look like a lot compared to that 162. But I can promise you, Spawn figures are a lot easier to come by than Green Arrow figures.
Well, both of those numbers are too high. Because like 25 of the Sackboy ones I have are the little, they're like the 1.5 inch figures. So they're very tiny. They don't take up much space. Whereas you guys have some big shit. All my shit fits on probably like 2 shelves.
I do. You can probably see it behind me if you look real close. Oh, no, it's a little blurry.
I think I've seen it all.
Yeah.
I would wager that I've seen all. I have not even begun to see all the Gerald stuff because he's got way too much. Coin stamps. If a man could hold on to something, he has.
He does it.
What are gold stamps?
I don't know.
The stamps. I don't
need colors in my stamps.
I have a 24K, the kids call it. I have a silver bar that's like pure silver.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to look at that thing. I could see how people collect like medals and gems and stuff.
Doesn't even sound interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize the gold bars are all stamped with different stuff, so they don't look the same. So there is like a design aspect to it as well.
Oh, yeah. He says movies. I do collect like cult classic movies too.
WWE. Let me just tell you, this list that Gerald has it's become silly.
Yeah, it's way too long.
It's like 40 things. He says he has over 20 of everything here. That's too much.
Jesus, yeah, I agree.
So you now know that Dan and I collect and Gerald hoards?
What's that? Yes.
We collect and he hoards.
Yes, we do.
That's going to do it for the news. We'll head over to shout-outs really quickly, really briefly. 2 shout-outs. Nobody sent us a shout-out.
No, I think they're both going to be I think they're both telling all 3 of us that you guys are fucking nerds. I think it's going to come from both of them.
I can't speak for Zach, but Thomas collects as well.
Thomas does collect as well, you're right.
I've seen his Zelda propaganda shelf.
Mm-hmm. He's a Zelda guy.
Yeah, so he's a fucking nerd too, is what I'm saying.
And did you mean paraphernalia?
No, I like propaganda better.
Okay, because propaganda is technically something different.
Yeah, I know. I know exactly what it is. I think that's what it is. And I would wager that Zach's a fucking nerd too.
Do you think he collects to the point of like?
I think he has.
Idiots?
Yeah, I do. I think he has a collection of something. Now, some people are not proud of their collections.
Oh yeah, I'm proud of my collection.
I do watch how I talk about it.
Well, I'll tell you what's one of my favorite things about the fact that I have all this Green Arrow stuff, and that's, by the way, that 40 is just figures. That's not posters, calendars, glasses, shirts, posters, all that.
Anything
stuff
you can find, right?
Yeah. But I think I appreciate everybody for their nerddom, their fandom. I do have a special place in my heart for the obscure fandoms. For example, me, Green Arrow. That's an obscure character to be your favorite. And it is hard to find stuff. I mean, you have to search it out. It's not very often you find something in the wild. And when you do, it's like so super exciting. You can go down, the action figure aisle in Walmart and find like Transformers. That's not to say there aren't some, you know what I mean? That's not to say there aren't some rare Transformers and some older Transformers, and like your Sackboy, that's not a mainstream.
Let me tell you, collecting for Sackboy and Little Big Planet, kind of tough.
Yeah. So I do have a special place in my heart for those obscure fandoms that are hard to come by. It's hard to find the stuff. You have to search it out and actually take active steps to find it. You don't very often stumble across it.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's
I like collections of any kind. I don't care what they are.
I like all collections, but I do have that special place in my heart for the obscurities.
I may not even be into a thing, but I like seeing that someone is into it and how much work they've put into it.
Yep.
I don't talk often about stuff from work, but I went in someone's house, and you two as collectors would have had your mind blown. As I also had my mind blown. He probably had, between action figures and statues, I'm going to say probably 2,000 of them.
Oh my God.
Every inch of every wall was covered. You can't see any walls at all. They're all hung up. And then he also had aquariums that he had repurposed into display cases. So he flips the aquarium upside down and has them displayed inside on different tiered shelves.
Yes.
He also had Hot Wheels and basketball cards and everything like that. He collected with his wife, which I thought was the most adorable thing.
That's great.
But he had, it's just a regular house, but you walk inside and you're like, this is a museum. I mean, they've been collecting for 40 years.
Yeah.
And like to see the joy that it brought them, it let me know that like I'm not a weirdo, you know? Like that stuff, like people do get joy out of the things.
Yep. They
do. And as he was showing us, he showed us the whole house and every room was like that. But he would be like, oh, I remember getting this and I remember we found this there. And, he doesn't just go buy stuff. He could, but that's not the point. The point is like finding the things. And
that always makes it better.
It was remarkable to see that and to see somebody that late in life still collecting brings me some joy because I hope to still be collecting something at that point. But sometimes...
Besides Social Security?
Yeah. Probably won't be collecting that by the time I'm ready.
That's true.
But I do tread carefully when someone's like, oh, do you play on PS4 or Xbox? I'm like, oh, I have both of them. They're like, oh, you have both of them? I'm like, yeah, I have a lot of different systems. Like, I don't feel the need to, I don't flex on strangers.
Right.
Or anybody for that matter, because people have collections that make mine look like baby collections.
Exactly.
But, at the end of the day, I have a lot of shit that, a
works
lot of
for me.
Yeah, it works for me. It makes me happy.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, that's it. Gerald sent a tweet out. Show us your collections. Show us yours. We'll show you ours, which Dan will. I won't because my shit is everywhere.
Oh, I can.
But Dan can take you some pics, and Gerald could probably send you some pics, even though his shit is scattered about as well.
Mm-hmm.
I still have stuff at my childhood home at my papa's house.
Yeah.
That I haven't even. I have so much stuff
dug through yet.
Oh, it's remarkable how much stuff I've accrued. It's out of control, really. But I've stopped. I haven't bought anything old in a long time.
Congratulations.
I don't know. Maybe it's sad.
Maybe. Could be sad.
It's a long ass episode right here.
I know. We need
it's
to
like
wrap
getting
it
back
up.
to our roots. So that's it. You got anything you want to add?
No.
Run 20, 30 minutes longer?
No. I got things I got to do too, man.
Yeah, the longer this goes, the less I have to do.
I know. You want to just keep going, and I can
5,
step up
6
if you
hours.
want. You can just do your thing.
5-6 hour show. Didn't have time for anything else. Sorry. But that is going to do it for us. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And we're going to get it Andrew Gold Music. Is that his name?
Andrew Gold Music on Twitter.
Yeah, Andrew Gold Music on Twitter. Let's start the revolution. Let's see if we can't get Andrew Gold Music on the show or a phone call between us or something.
Yeah, something. That'd be cool.
Loved it. How many followers does he have? He only has 1,500 followers.
No, that's 6,000.
6,000. There's a real chance of the 6,000 that he'll give us a shot.
It's possible. I hope
Either way,
so.
we're going to shoot our shot on Andrew and see what happens.
Hey, that's right.
That's what the kids say now. Shoot your shot.
We'll keep you guys posted.
Yeah. But help us start the revolution. Get at him. Andrew Gold Music. So that's going to do it for us. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Good night.
Good night.